when I show Batería, the latest film I made here, that is related to queer safe spaces and the fragility of those of our community in that place. Um, People were like, "Oh, so things are going not that well in Havana with gay people and stuff." I said, "Wait, uh, no, things are going well because we are doing this film. We can't do this film. We are allowed to do that, or even if we are not, we are doing it.
Right.
So, which is something. We are doing something. So it's interesting how you get to know your film in a different way when you present it in different contexts. For
Right.
example, like here in Germany. So and the reactions you get and how you can learn from that. Not only to do other films after, but to think about what you're doing and how important or not is what you are doing or what you did, and how a lot of people from different contexts uh, can find themselves in my work, and that's why I'm saying this because I found that in the screening, the very first night I was so tired because I just got in Dresden and I've been like traveling for almost 24 hours, and but then you got a lot of people. It was sold out. Everybody was there, and they were not only for the films but for us asking questions and stuff, and that was so powerful. That was very powerful. Like, okay, because our work is not only to to give something to the audience, so the audience will go home and say like, okay, yeah, and now I learned something new. It's like actually not really about teaching something new, but about making people asking questions. So, I won't I won't respond. I won't answer all the questions you have. I might give you the tools to build your own questions. And so you're going back home and you're going to have to answer the questions that you still have about the film. And you have to be responsible for that. So it's also that giving the tools for audience to be responsible. And I kind of felt that people were like taking responsibility of being an audience in front of that kind of film. And I love that.
So the audience took responsibility or part of the responsibility. You felt that?
I felt that. Yeah. I felt that. And people were like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna look more about this because this is interesting. I'm not gonna because in here it's different, but it's at the same time it's similar, so we can learn from that and that." So I said like, "Okay, yes, this is working." And when that happens, it's like, explosion of creativity and it's not just to give it all to the audience. It's a relationship. It's that's why filmmaking and cinema. I feel that it's a performance. It's a performance. It's a very something that happened not in the screen, but in the middle of the screen and the audience.
Right.
And that changes every time the film is a screen. So you have a different experience, and that's lovely. That's so powerful. So many things might happen from that.
The festival is showing your film amongst, I mean, they have a focus on Cuban films, right? There was a few Cuban entries and a whole little program focus on Cuba. What benefits do you draw from being part of this festival?
I mean, festivals are interesting because like you get to your film shown, but at the same time, most of the people who attend to film festival to go to screenings and stuff are people from the film industry. Right. And that's cool, but that's not like people,
Yeah.
That's not like normal people, that the people that are looking for a very specific thing in every screening. So like, which is not going to cinema and watch something that might,
Right.
So, and that's something that I don't like from film festivals. But at the same time, I think that in here is quite different, and I saw a lot of people that were not from the film industry in the screenings. But the good part of that is that you get to meet a lot of people, like very interesting people, like filmmakers, producers, people from the press, and journalists and stuff.
Sure.
And that gives you a lot of tools in order to get your job to be more visible, but also your job, yeah, your work more visible, but also AME gives you the a lot of tools of for exchange, collaboration,
Yeah.
and which is quite important. I mean, without that, we can't do anything. Especially now, we are almost all the filmmakers are very international, even if we are not well known internationally, but we live internationally.
Yeah.
So it's so important to have this kind of network and to maintain this kind of network.
Can you see yourself? So, I mean, you're a director, you're a storyteller, but especially Bateria was, it almost had a little documentary feel to it with very cinematic shots. Can you see yourself approaching a film in a more, classical way? Can you see yourself, go that way?
That depends of the story and of my body. I take my body in consideration when I film. My body is like even more than my memories and mind.
You mean like as an instinct, as how it resonates to every?
Yes, even to shoot. I mean shooting. I'm like using my body, how I feel in this space or this other space. For me, territory, landscape, and space are very, very, very important, and the relationship I have with those spaces and how my work activates some kind of that some kind of approach and kind of the picture of a space.
Absolutely.
But creating new spaces, new horizons, new paradises. So that's how it works, like not only depicting but actually like creating. So I'm working on that right now. I think it's gonna be a more classical film in many ways, but also because it's based on people, it's on bodies. So I couldn't film the bodies of the men in Batería in this place because I couldn't, because they didn't allow me to do. I totally understand. I actually try to protect them, and I love that because it's about visibility and how visibility it's in risk, it's at risk at some point. But in this film, I will be working with actors and non-actors at the same time.
Okay.
And so it's gonna be their bodies also. So yeah, but that will depend of everything. I don't want to say that I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. That will, I will listen to my body. My body will tell me like how to work on that. It's like dancing,